Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel. In this video today, we're going to be talking about foods to avoid in pregnancy. Now, most foods and drinks are safe to have during pregnancy, but there are some things you should be careful with or avoid completely. In the video, we're going over what you can eat, what to be careful with, and what to avoid, and the reasoning behind it. So let's first talk about what you can't eat. So foods to avoid would be made from unpasteurized milk, so like soft ripened goat's cheese, unpasteurized cows, goats, sheep's milk or cream, unpasteurized or pasteurized soft blue cheeses, unpasteurized or pasteurized mold ripened soft cheeses, with a white coating on the outside. So something like Camembert, for example. And then the question is why? So why do we avoid such foods? So it's because there's a small chance that unpasteurized or soft ripened dairy products may contain Listeria bacteria. So this can cause an infection called listeriosis. We're going to have another video on this, but basically listeriosis can lead to stillbirth or miscarriage or make your newborn baby very unwell. And when we're talking about soft cheeses with a white coating on the outside, they have more moisture. So more moisture means that it's easier for bacteria to grow. Going by the same logic, cooking cheese until it's steaming hot kills bacteria, reducing the risk of listeriosis. And to finish off the topic of cheese, milk, and other dairy, so what you can eat is, for example, pasteurized or unpasteurized hard cheeses like cheddar or Parmesan, pasteurized semi-hard cheeses such as Stilton. Also, you can eat pasteurized soft cheeses like cottage cheese, mozzarella, feta, ricotta, paneer, halloumi, um, and also soft or blue cheese that has been cooked until steaming hot. The other thing is also you can have pasteurized milk, yogurt, cream, and ice cream. Now let's move on to meat. So, what to avoid when it comes to meat? Raw, undercooked meat, probably not a good idea. Liver products, all types of pate, so including vegetarian pate, and also game meats, right? So goose, partridge, or pheasant. So avoid all of those. Now, there's a certain list of meats that we can be careful with. So that's cold cured meats such as salami, pepperoni, chorizo, prosciutto. So those would be things to be careful with rather than to strictly avoid right off the bat. Now, the reasoning why. So why do we avoid such meats? It's because there's a small risk of getting toxoplasmosis. Again, another video on that in the future. But there's a small risk of getting toxoplasmosis if you eat raw and undercooked meat, and this can cause miscarriage. Cured meats are not cooked, so they may have parasites in them that can cause toxoplasmosis. When it comes to liver and liver products, so liver and liver products have a lot of vitamin A in them. This can be harmful to an unborn baby. And the game meats, they may contain lead shots. Now let's talk about eggs. So what to avoid with eggs? Avoid raw or partially cooked hen eggs, and also avoid raw or partially cooked duck, goose, or quail eggs. The big bad guy here is salmonella. So salmonella is unlikely to harm your unborn baby, but you could get food poisoning, which is not nice. So you should cook all eggs thoroughly, please. Moving on to fish. So what to avoid in fish? Avoid swordfish, marlin, shark, and raw shellfish, please. Then we have fish we need to be careful with. So those fish are smoked fish, such as salmon and trout. Fish that you can eat with some rules and limitations are the following. So you can eat cooked fish and seafood. You can eat sushi as long as the fish has been cooked thoroughly. You can eat cooked shellfish such as mussels, lobster, prawns, crabs, scallops, clams, and you can eat cold pre-cooked prawns. With fish, we do have some limitations though. So you should not eat no more than 2 portions of oily fish a week, such as salmon, trout, mackerel, herring. You should eat no more than 2 tuna steaks or 4 kind of medium-sized cans of tuna per week. So 2 tuna steaks are about 140 grams cooked or 170 grams raw. And in terms of 4 medium-sized cans of tuna, that's about 140 grams when drained. So per week, this should be the limitation. So why are we avoiding some fish and limiting other fish and so on? So when it comes to tuna, you should limit tuna because it has more mercury in it than other fish has. So if you eat too much mercury, it can be harmful to your unborn baby. When we're talking about oily fish, um, we limit it because they can have pollutants such as dioxins and biphenyls in them. If you eat too much of these, they can also harm your unborn baby. When we're talking about raw shellfish, you should avoid that because they can have harmful viruses, bacteria, and toxins in them. They can make you feel unwell and give you food poisoning, which again, you don't want that. When we talk about smoked fish, so smoked fish can be linked to listeria. So people are at higher risk of serious infection, so including pregnant people. They should only eat smoked fish products that have been thoroughly cooked. So when cooking smoked fish products at home, make sure they are steaming hot all the way through. All right, now let's talk about caffeine. A lot of people love caffeine, so it's an important topic to cover. No more than 200 milligrams per day. A bunch of examples are the following. So there's about 100 milligrams in a mug of instant coffee, 140 milligrams in a mug of filter coffee, 40 milligrams in a can of Coca-Cola, 75 milligrams in a mug of tea, right? Green tea can have the same amount of caffeine as regular tea. 80 milligrams in a 250 ml can of energy drink. Um, and yeah, so that's when it comes to caffeine. So please just keep an eye out and no more than 200 milligrams per day. Let's continue the topic of food and other drinks. So, alcohol, big no no. Drinking alcohol in pregnancy can lead to long term harm to your baby. If you're pregnant or you're planning to get pregnant, the safest approach is to just not drink alcohol at all. This keeps risks to your baby at a minimum. The next thing is herbal teas. So, you should drink no more than 4 cups of herbal tea in a day. Um, licorice. So, licorice is safe to eat. Licorice is safe to eat, but you should avoid licorice root. Vegetables and salads. So be careful with fruits, vegetables, and salads, as they can have soil in them, right? Which can make you unwell. So basically, just make sure to thoroughly wash all fruits, vegetables, and salad ingredients. When it comes to vitamins and supplements, so do not take high dose multivitamin supplements or any supplements with vitamin A in them. Other foods that come to mind, so peanuts, for example, do not need to avoid eating peanuts when you're pregnant. So you can eat peanuts just fine. Just only avoid eating them if you're advised by a healthcare professional or if you're allergic, obviously. And I think that's about it. That was a quick overview of foods in pregnancy, really. I hope it was helpful. Um, I hope it was useful. And please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next